Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Be Green with Amy. I'm Amy. After adopting a whole food plant-based lifestyle, my hubby Rick and I lost over 130 pounds. Now I coach others on their plant-based journey. Just Task Voice. Let's welcome our guest.
In 2012, Rick joined his wife Amy and adopted a whole food plant-based diet. Rick lost over 100 pounds and has kept it off. He also eliminated all prescriptions, including hypertension and cholesterol medications. Rick is also the author of a whole food plant-based SOS-free recipe ebook called Plant-Based SOS-Free Recipes. Like flavor? This cookbook is for you. Please click like to help Be Green with Amy. Welcome, her hubby Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Green Kitchen. I'm going to be in the studio in just a little bit, but I wanted to start here to welcome all of you to Be Green with Amy Live and welcome my most favorite person in the whole wide world, my husband, Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Now, Rick adopted this lifestyle with me back in 2012, and he booted me out of the kitchen because he found better ways to make the food taste delicious that I wasn't doing it as well. But we made it as a team because I did my research and I tried to find the different ingredients, and he found the recipes and found that they could taste better if he improved them, and he tweaked them along the way. And he loves to cook, and I love to eat. And I don't mind cleaning up or prepping, so I think we make a good team.
We make a complete person.
Yeah, together we make one complete, awesome, rocking person. Yeah. So Rick's going to tell you about his journey, the whole food plant-based journey, but he's also going to do a bunch of recipe demos because this is what he does. He cooks lots of food for us, and a lot of it gets frozen and into different little areas of the house in a freezer or in another freezer that we have in the garage. And it also, he divides things up into servings, all kinds of things. And he'll tell you more about that as he's cooking. So tell us, what are you going to be cooking today? He's going to be making a lot of things.
Well, she said, what are you going to cook? I said, I'm going to make dinner. So that's basically what I'm going to do. Except the difference between today and what is normal is all the ingredients are most of the ingredients are already prepared. So I'll just take it out of the refrigerator and dump it in and like that. But since I'm out of almost everything, I'm going to make the salad dressing or the special sauce that we use. I'm going to make potatoes that I snack on and I also use inside my meals. I'm going to make chickpeas because I just made salads earlier today and I ran out of chickpeas. I like chickpeas. She likes black beans.
We put beans in our salads.
Yeah, and I'll show you some of the salads that we just made. So I've been in the kitchen all morning, but I like it, and that helps in this lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, if you want to have really flavorful food, you can have plain food, right, and you'll be fine too.
I want to make the mushrooms that we use for the salads as well as for other meals, and the sauce or the au jus or whatever that's left over from the mushrooms is what I use as a base to cook a lot of my meals. And if we have time, I'm going to show you the ice cream that Amy likes. I'm going to make you some ice cream.
See, I have it so good. So it's basically kind of like soup to nuts in a way.
Well, you'll have a complete meal.
And dessert, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go in my studio so that I can let Rick take over the kitchen, and we're going to have some fun. If you are watching, please tell us, where are you watching from? Type it in the comments. And, of course, if you have any questions for Rick, type them in the comments as well. If you're on Instagram, I'm going to be hopping over there and looking at those comments if you have any questions, and I'll put them up for Rick. And this way, we can all have a good time together in the kitchen.
Okay.
Well, thank you, love. See you in the studio. Go ahead, hon.
Okay. So what we're going to start off with is I'm going to make the potatoes first. Okay. So in this particular case, I bought 3 pounds of the golden potatoes. And what I do is I take an Instapot and I put this little strainer thing inside of it, and I fill the Instant Pot up with about a ½ inch of water, just as it goes to the just the bottom of the grade of the Instant Pot legs, right? And then you just put the potatoes in, and Amy will show an overhead view of that when she gets herself set up. Oh, there it is. Okay, so you take them, put it in. Now, if you want to spice it, you can. I don't. When I cook them in the potato thing, so you take that and you put it on for 3 minutes. I'm going to try and show you what 3 minutes look like. Okay, so you just hit manual, and this one's set up for egg. These potatoes are a little bit larger, so I'm going to put 4 minutes. I'm going to take that, put it off to the side, and we're going to start on another one. And this should be done before our show is over. So Amy will talk while I move this over and set it up.
Okay. Well, I've been trying to say hi to everybody while Rick's been doing that. And what we're going to be doing is just, like I said, watching Rick doing all of his magic in the kitchen. There's a lot that goes on with batch cooking, and that's what he likes to do. So this is not what it's like every day. Oftentimes, he will be going into the freezer and grabbing some things that he prepared ahead of time, and maybe he might grab something out of the refrigerator. He did make salads earlier today. He's going to show you that too. And that's another thing that we like to have batch prepped. So, and he'll show you how he has them all done. And maybe in another time that he comes on, he might show you how he makes the salads. But he makes 10 salads at a time, and that will last us 5 days. And they do stay fresh because we have them in these really great containers. So let's see what are you back? Okay, he's back.
I am. Okay, so I took chickpeas, and I used 2 mason jars full of chickpeas. I think that's close to a little bit like 2.5 pounds. Anyway, pour them in, and then I put it in hot water and I soak them. These have been soaking for about 3 hours. So they raised up and filled up about that. There was that much water above them, and now you can see they're almost even. So I take that and then I drain that out. And I have this cute little drainer thing. It's shaped like a whale. Anyway, you won't see me draining it, but I'm going to drain them. And then I'm going to rinse them one time.
So we buy dried beans, and sometimes we'll buy like a 25-pound bag of dried beans. And what Rick does is he puts them in mason jars, and then we have a vacuum sealer that he seals them up. And this way the dried beans don't go stale. Yeah. And then he has them available. Oh, look, there's and he's putting them in.
I already put some water inside the Instant Pot, and I kind of started it. I put it on saute to steam to boil it. That was prior to. This way it would because it takes 45 minutes to cook these beans. So I fill this up to the max line, which is just about 1 inch above this. See that? And then I take the Instant Pot lid. So we make up these containers, and they say chick on it, which is chickpeas, and 40 minutes. So we already know. So these are spices that are already put together, and the spices are granulated garlic, granulated onions, cumin, and some pepper flakes.
Yeah. So we have a basket on the counter that we have full of these spices, and we make them up ahead of time.
This one's for my split peas, and this one's for the chickpeas. And I had another one for vegetable broth, but there's about 5 or 6 or 10, maybe a dozen in total.
I always love any container that has a straight edge because they have less gaps in them. So even those have straight edges, and this way we can fit more in the bin. And then
Okay.
that's just another thing that you don't have to do, right, Rick? When you're cooking, you don't have to say, oh, now I have to get all the spices out and measure them. You just grab that thing that you already made up ahead of time.
So this one I do for 40 minutes. I'm going to put this off to the side, and that one will cook. You want to make sure that it's not on vent, and it's on regular. And that'll take about 40 minutes to do.
Okay, so see that already he's just started one meal there, and that's the chickpeas. And we batch cook these and freeze them in individual. What we like to do is when they cool off, we measure out 1 cup at a time, and we put them in Ziploc bags, and then we put a whole like sandwich size, and then we'll put a bunch of those bags in a gallon size bag, and then throw it in the freezer. And then whenever we need a cup of beans that are SOS free, no sugar, oil, or salt, but they taste so good because they have all those wonderful spices in them. You just grab it out of the freezer, and it's going to defrost you could put it in the microwave for about a minute or so. It'll defrost that way. Or you can just leave it on the counter while you're prepping your food, and then it'll start to thaw out. And it's always nice that we have these beans ready. And he does chickpeas that way, black beans and other beans, but mostly we've been using a lot of chickpeas and black beans because he likes to make black bean soup, and he likes to make tuna fish, which he does with chickpeas. He mashes them up and flavors them, and it comes out tasting something and with the texture of what we used to eat, which was tuna fish. So there's a lot of different things that we can do with those beans, right, Rick?
Yes. I like tuna fish. Anyway, so right now we're going to make the dressing. So you take your Vitamix. I use, I have a high boy. So I take walnuts. So this is going to make my dressing. And it's a special sauce I use for cooking as well as our salads. And we eat salads every night, and we use the same dressing every night. So walnuts, that's a cup. Raisins, cup. I put in hemp seed, which is about a cup. And then garlic. This one's going to be garlic. I usually use about 7 cloves, but these are kind of small. So I just used the whole little packet. All right. Then you take balsamic vinegar. We try to do almost everything organic. You put a cup of this inside there. It's a really easy recipe, and it's quite delicious, actually. Raisins give it a nice flavor. So, 1 cup of balsamic vinegar, and then it's a 1/4 cup of mustard. I use the Goldens. It's got a little salt in it, and I just kind of squeeze it out. 2, 3, 4. That's the way I do things. I hardly measure anything, but Amy said for this I need to turn around and measure. So then 2 cups of water. And I kind of overfill it a little bit. And that's it. Then you turn around, put the lid on. I always wear my earmuffs because
so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mute Rick's microphone, so this way you guys don't hear the blender going. You might hear it in the background because he's in my kitchen, but he's going to be blending all of that for now. If you have any questions for Rick, please type them in the comments. I love seeing everybody here. I'm so excited that you all Carrie. Greetings, Carrie. Thanks. Jennifer Diamond, she's been on the show. She's coming back too. Greetings, Lee. Oh my goodness. Look at all these wonderful people that came to see Rick's debut. Greetings. I had thanks. And Jess. Greetings, Jess. And who else? Kerry. Oh, greetings, Steve. He's here too. So we have a few people coming. Come and say something in the comments so that I know you're here and I can say hello to you. And I think he's done with the blending, so we can get him back on. Okay.
Ending. And normally I just stick my finger in and taste it, but I know what it's going to taste like. This one's going to be a little bit garlicky. So then I take these bottles, which are salad dressing bottles, and these are kombucha bottles. You know, and the lids fit on all the same. And then I fill them up and just pour. Okay. Then
Yeah.
just pour it in.
He doesn't need a funnel. I would be using a funnel. You see, that's the difference. We had a what?
We make it like every week. And
yes, you do.
4 bottles will last us just about maybe a week. I'm not positive. I make it quite often. We
Right.
go through raisins. We go through a lot of walnuts. We go through a lot of hemp seed. We go through a lot of flaxseed. We go through a lot of ginger. Oh, that's right. Normally, see, I made this the old way, but Amy said that you need to incorporate more turmeric throughout the day. So normally, at least within the last 2 months, I've been throwing a chunk of ginger and a chunk of turmeric in with the salad dressing, because we put turmeric and ginger in our smoothies, which we drink in the morning, and which is this full, you know? So we split 2 drinks. She has 32 ounces, I have 32 ounces. And it always has ginger and turmeric inside of it to help with the inflammation and antioxidants and all the rest of that stuff. Anyway, so you fill them up, put the lids on, stick them in the refrigerator, and it's good to go.
Yeah, so we don't just put this dressing on our salad, right, Rick?
No, in fact, I'm going to show you that I make mushrooms. And this morning I was chopping them up, and this is my favorite chopper for mushrooms. It's like an egg. It's like an egg chopper, but this one has heavy-duty blades. And this is what it does for you. So I take 3 pounds of mushrooms, which I get in Sprouts, because that's the best price I found. And it cuts them up into 1/8 pretty much thickness. Okay? So this is 3 pounds of mushrooms, and that's, I buy 9 pounds of mushrooms at a time.
Yeah, and whenever we put that on the conveyor belt to check out, and people, the cashier always say, "What are you going to do with all those mushrooms?"
Right. What do you do with those mushrooms? Okay, so I take a chicken fryer skillet, stainless steel, no aluminum in my house, no Teflon type of stuff. She won't allow it. And it takes a little bit to learn, but this thing has been through war with me. It's been left on the stove and just, you forget sometimes, because that's what you do. You find other things happen, and it's burnt. But this is a Wolfgang Puck. It's beautiful. I use it all the time.
So, Rick, Jennifer Diamond's watching, and she said, "Love Rick's apron."
My kids got this for me.
He's my superhero.
Okay, so I take some frozen peppers and onions, which is a blend, and I put them in. Okay, which is, it's just peppers and onions. We like to buy as much organic as we can, but I can't find them frozen, and I buy these like 10 bags at a time, and then all of a sudden I'm out. I don't know what happened to them all. So we have another freezer in the garage, and it's all full of stuff.
Rick uses the peppers and onions as a base. They really add a lot of flavor to a lot of different recipes. And right now he's going to be making mushrooms, because we eat mushrooms every day. They're very important to have in your diet. They have so many health benefits. and the more the better. So
Just
that's what we do. What?
I know on the stove, and
Yeah.
this would be frying at this point, but I don't bother, caramelizing them or anything. I just stick them in because the mushrooms have so much moisture inside of them that it kind of just boils everything in a way.
Yeah. So he's not using any oil.
Is what it is.
Right.
So I take that and I push the mushrooms inside, half and half. Then I take, this is my favorite, Chili 9000. This is one of my favorite spice blends. And I sprinkled some of that inside there. I would assume that's about a tablespoon. Then I take some granulated garlic and I pour that in. And that's probably about a tablespoon as well. And then I take, even though I have onions, I use some onion powder and sprinkle some of that in. That's pretty close to a tablespoon as well. It could be less. Basil. I just started buying it for 10 pound? What was it? 10-pound bag? I'm not really sure. It was a pretty big bag of basil. And then I don't use a whole lot of that, but I like the flavor of it. And then sumac, I think it was Bravo mentioned sumac.
Chef Bravo, he was on the broadcast and he told us that was one way that it would trick your taste buds into thinking that you were eating salt. So we've been using that a lot.
That gives it a lemony, salty flavor. It's kind of weird that it actually does that. And then recently I started using sage and everything. So I just sprinkle a little sage in there. This is my first time buying the sage. Normally I only use sage for my split pea soups, but that's my thing now. Then I take the special sauce and I pour in probably a quarter cup or so. You see how much that is? Then I just take the rest of it and I put it in. Normally this is cooked down a little bit by this time, but because we're live and I'm not at the stove and the cameras aren't there, then I
actually did a video of cooking these mushrooms, and I'll put the link to it in the description if you want to see. It's pretty full.
Oh, it is. It's full. They stick to the top actually. Yeah. But that's what pounds will do. I would cook more if they fit more, but it doesn't.
Yeah. So yeah, I do have a video where I made the mushrooms and I showed you cutting them up and doing all the prep work. We like to wash our mushrooms before we cook them. I want to know, Green Warrior, do you wash your mushrooms? If you cook mushrooms, do you wash them or do you brush them off? What is your preferred way to prep them?
Chef Bravo turns around and says that real chefs brush the mushrooms. They don't wash them because they don't want the moisture because they already have moisture. For me, since I use the au jus sauce for everything, so a little bit more is okay. And I'm not looking for a firmness because once they're cooked, to me they're all soft and mushy anyway. So it's all good. So right now you can hear in the background the potatoes have finished on the 4 minutes that I put, but I do a natural pressure release on them. So
okay, so tell everybody what that means because not everybody knows what natural.
It's a pressure cooker. Normally on the old pressure cookers, you had that thing that went. Yeah. Anyway, these don't, and it has a little vent lever on it, so you can leave that little pressure lever in the pressure position, and over a period of time, because it's no longer heating, the pressure from the heat dissipates, so you can take the lid off. Now, if you wanted to, you could just flip that little vent lever over, and all the pressure will spew out of the top, and it'll create a whole bunch of steam and maybe some sputtering of water, depending on how high it is. We've had some doozies of accidents. But that was my fault because my pressure relief valve wasn't working properly, and I tried to rig it up.
Don't rig your pressure release valve. If it
We got a big mess. I should have put it on film. Really should have put it on film. But anyway, natural pressure release. You don't bent over. Wow. Okay. So it just the pressure and the heat just dissipates, so you can take the lid off. Because right now you couldn't take the lid off.
Yeah. So Lee said, my understanding is the waterlog thing is kind of a myth. I used to brush them. Now I wash them. So much easier. Yep.
You can't take the lid off at this point because it's under pressure. You just show the other one, Amy? The other view?
And hang on a second. I was showing Lee's comment.
You see that? If you flip it, it'll release. And the pressure, you can't take the lid off. Once this is released, you can take the lid off. So she brought.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, he thinks it's a myth and he washes them. It's much easier. I do the same. Yep.
Who says it's a myth? Me?
No, Lee.
Oh, Lee. Okay.
Yeah, you were busy. You weren't looking at the screen, so I was reading. Lee said, my understanding is the waterlog thing is a myth, and I just...
With the little mushrooms, let me show you something real quick.
And Jennifer Diamond said, I used to brush my mushrooms when I ate them raw, but I wash them and then cook them so they get moist anyway. Yeah, absolutely. And you really, you're supposed, and I guess you cook them now, but you're supposed to, okay, let's just take a look and see.
So these are the mushrooms that we buy, a pound at a time. I'm going to probably cook these later anyway. So a little Italian woman on the
PBS
at one time, I don't know her name, but she said you should turn around and strive to purchase mushrooms where, down on the bottom here, a lot of the mushrooms are open and you can see the little villi. I think they call them villi. But they say this is the way you want your mushrooms. So otherwise, when you get water inside of them, it's going to soak it up like a sponge. But these are closed off. So when you wash these, you're just kind of washing the outside. Now, if you got the big portobellas, that has all those little villi, the strands that go inside there. And I just ate mine yesterday, so I don't have any to show you. Those will soak it up. And that's good because when I do that, I pour this sauce inside those portobello mushroom caps, and you pour a little bit of this in there, and it gives it a nice flavor when it cooks. And it just it's delicious. Anyway, so here I'll show you this thing. See this cutter? I put the mushroom in like this, and take a look at this. Just close it.
You're supposed to say bam.
Oh, that's copyrighted. I'm pretty sure he copyrighted that.
Yeah, this makes life so much easier. I didn't think it would. And yeah, you want to show that?
So we used to cut up three, well, at least three of these by hand.
Yep, that's what I did in that recipe demo video that I did when I made the mushrooms. That was before we found it. And the reason why I like this gadget is because it looks like it's a hard-boiled egg slicer, but it's not. It has blades in it, right? And they're hard blades, so they're very tough, and you can cut strawberries with it and all kinds of things.
Yeah, I wanted to show you this. This is the sauce from my mushrooms. I keep it in the refrigerator and I use it to cook with because a lot of people say with the stainless steel frying pans, you need oil to cook. I think this is a question that you have. You want to just ask that question?
Yeah, let's play our game. I got so excited about having you on the show and everything. I didn't even start to play our game. Let's do that.
It's time for True or False on Be Green with Amy Live. Answer true or false to Amy's questions in the comments below, and Amy will ask our guest for the expert answer.
Okay. Just Ask Voice put that together, and I love that music that she put in. Okay, well, let's start with the first one, Rick, okay? Hang on a second. So are you ready, Green Warriors? We're going to start with the first one, and that is true or false. When following a whole food, plant-based SOS, sugar, oil, salt-free lifestyle, food tastes bland. Type in your comment. Say true or false, Green Warriors. Okay, Rick, tell us the answer.
Well, it all depends on the spices that you use. But because your taste buds are used to the sugar, oil, salt, and the processed foods and the, processed foods, deli meats, all these things are, give me a minute,
Okay.
are scientifically designed in order to make your taste buds say wow, to give you that dopamine hit so that you'll eat more of it. So when you eat those potato chips, those cheese doodles, the little cheese squares, I mean, those things, I mean, you just want to, you can't stop yourself. When the potato chip guy says you just can't eat one, he's right. There's a book by, who is it, Amy?
Oh, Robert Moss. It's called Salt, Sugar, Fat, How the Food Giants Cooked Us.
And they say when they're cooking these, frying up potato chips, they're sending them down three different assembly lines, and they're making these chips in it just a little bit different from the other. So this one will say this much salt, this one will say a little bit of whatever, this one will say something else. So each chip will taste just a little different, but they'll all taste good. So when you eat, if you're just eating the same chip all the time, after a while you say, I'm done. But if you're hitting the hit from this one and getting the hit from that one because they taste different, you're going to keep eating because it's never the same. I mean, it could be, but they got three different flavors inside of one bag. I guess not all of them, but that's what someone has said.
Yeah, and it's just a subtle difference.
They got it rigged, and they got it. They know.
Anyway, they're messing with your brain chemistry, people. So just get off of all this sugar, oil, and salt. Get off of all the processed foods. Make delicious food like Rick's making today. And it might take a couple of weeks, but it's going to taste good. And then if you ever go back, it may not taste so good anymore. Okay, we have another question. Are you ready, Green Warriors? True or false? It's difficult to lose weight on a whole food, plant-based lifestyle. So type in your guess for your answer and tell us what it is. And Rick, you want to tell us about that?
What was the question?
It's difficult to lose weight on a whole food, plant-based lifestyle.
Negative. I had gone through multiple surgeries. Long story with my job. Anyway, I had shoulder surgeries, I had elbow surgeries, and they were kind of one right after the other. I had one surgery done on a shoulder, and then the healing time was probably 4 or 5 months. And then after that was over, they did the other shoulder, and that healing time was 4 or 5 months. And then while you're doing that, they don't want you up and exercise. And you could walk, but they don't want you falling down. Your arm is in a sling. You can't move it because otherwise it'll mess up the surgery that they did. So I'm sitting in an easy chair. I mean, literally sitting in an easy chair, one of those lazy boys, I guess. It wasn't a lazy boy, but watching Netflix, binge watching all these different shows. And I shed 60 pounds easy, just sitting there. Not exercising, not doing anything.
So this is a picture of us together. We were visiting New York City, and they had a famous place that you could go get food. I had a diet soda.
That was our Coney Island trip. Yeah.
Yes, and I had a diet soda. Didn't help me.
It was good though. I was too big to ride the Cyclone. My kids did. I love roller coasters. Amy's not too big on roller coasters, but I was like, no. The bar I think was I don't know. It wasn't a great day.
The Cyclone is a roller coaster in Coney Island, but it's an old roller coaster. It's designed for the people that came before all this processed foods that were normal weight. And anyway. So I'll just show this picture too, because here's another before of us. And
I probably lost
a trick.
30 pounds easy before that picture.
Yes, that wasn't at your highest. But
no.
what we do in pictures then anyway, is we would face each other
Suck in your gut.
and suck it in.
Anyway, I mean, everybody wants to look good in pictures as best they
That's right. That's right.
Right?
Yeah, but you know, that's how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me show you something.
So
I put-
Jennifer says your picture looks amazing, like different people all together. Yeah, and we feel different too.
Yeah,
Oh
show-
wait, yeah. Let's just see. Hang on a second. I have to. Oh, we lost that. Okay, here it is. For a minute, I lost it. Okay.
So these are the mushrooms. I put it on a timer for 6 minutes because I didn't have it. And once the timer went off, I just mixed it. So I had it on high setting on an electric stove. And then I mix it and I shut the stove off. And this is what it comes out like. And then I drain them. And I'll show you that now.
Yeah. So what's really nice about it is he really didn't have to do that much work when it came to, you know, looking over it and worrying about it burning, because like Rick said, the mushrooms are full of water. The frozen peppers and onions, they were full of water. So he put a little bit of the dressing in there, but that was more for seasoning than anything else. And it really didn't take much. And so this is so much faster than a drain spoon.
So then I just these bowls are like, I have 3 bowls like this. I had 2 originally, now I have 3. But anyway, so that's it. And
Yeah, look at that pan.
that got stuck on there or anything. So
Yeah. So there was nothing burnt or anything on there. So, and then this way.
it drains out, and I help it a little bit, so I squeeze it. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. So that's basically that. So this is my au jus sauce now, which is the same thing that I showed you in this. But I'll cook with this because it's already hot. So what I'm going to do is make dinner. What we're going to cook. Well, here, not quite, but so I will take some of those mushrooms. Now take some of this sauce. I'm going to take some cauliflower. I'm going to take some broccoli because I have those already cut up because I made the salads. I had broccoli left over. Yesterday we had some spiralized zucchini. I love the way tomatoes, when they go in there, they're whole, and when they're hot, and then they pop in your mouth. And
Yeah, you use the grape or sometimes the
I have today.
Cherry tomatoes.
Today I have some grape, but I also have. I didn't wash these.
Jennifer Diamond said, "Clever. I usually cook till all the liquid is gone."
Okay. Well, you don't need to. With the mushrooms, they say don't eat mushrooms raw because they have some kind of
agarotine. Yeah.
That's poisonous.
Yeah.
You know, so you all you have to do is steam them. You don't have to have too much to get that off. But this is the way we cook them. And because of the onions and peppers and the spices that we put in, they taste delicious. Now, sometimes I add a little mustard. Amy doesn't know that, but if I know that I'm just going to cook with them and I'm not going to just put them in the salad, I'll throw in some mustard, and that'll give the meal a little bit more flavor. She doesn't like too much. She's not as big of a spice girl as I am. So I try and have the food a little blander, and then I'll add a little bit more, whatever it is, cayenne or chili.
I've come a long way, though, because I can tolerate a lot more. I think Rick just keeps sneaking in a little bit more at a time. And over the years, my tolerance for the spices have gone up. Do you have a question for me or for Rick? Type it in the comments. If you're just coming in and joining us, tell us where you're viewing from. We'd love to get to know you better. We got people chatting in the chat, and that's always nice too. And let me know, have you adopted a whole food plant-based lifestyle. And if you have, when did you do it? How long have you been doing it? And what kinds of things do you usually cook for dinner? These are the kinds of things that we usually eat on a daily basis. I have found, and Rick has found, that typically you wind up with maybe 5-10 different recipes that you kind of rotate through, and those are usually your favorites. But every once in a while, he'll make something different. So Mona wanted to know how much mustard that you added to the mushrooms. Not a whole lot?
No, just a squirt. Just
Oh.
a squirt. So a tablespoon.
This is how my husband measures. A dump, a squirt, a dash.
Squirt, tablespoon, depends how long of a squirt you do, though. No? Now you could also, instead of that, put a little tomato paste in there. Or I buy this. I just recently purchased the tube thing, because otherwise you got to use a whole can. Or what we've done in the past is put them inside a little ice cube trays and froze it. So if you don't use the whole can of tomato paste, you can freeze it inside the little ice cube trays. But this will give it a nice flavor. Salsa. A lot of times I'll cook with a can of salsa. The one that we buy is Newman's.
Newman's Own. That's the lowest sodium that we have found. We try not to go over 300 milligrams of sodium per day. So Whole Food Plant-Based Princess says she's from Grand Island, New York, and my husband and I have been plant-based for over 6 years now. Wow, very nice. We pick up recipes from so many different sources. Well, I am glad you're here.
Okay, what I'm going to do is move the camera over to the stove, and Amy will turn around and talk to you guys for a while, so that you can see.
So let's see who else. Okay, and Mona said, did you add the mustard while cooking or after? She's just intrigued by this, and she might decide to do that.
I could do either or. Like I said, if in fact I think it's going to be too spicy for Amy, then I'll do it after. But normally it's during, because this way everything blends together nicely. It's hard to mix the mustard into a meal that's already cooked. So I usually do it while it's cooking, and it kind of disperses it amongst everything. This way you don't get a huge hit of mustard inside of your food. Otherwise, I mean, if you like mustard and you like that flavor, and there are times, like these potatoes. Now the lid is open. I can get the lid open. Yeah, let me move this.
Rick is so amazing. He's cooking all these meals for us, and he's juggling cameras around. It's crazy.
The other view. Okay, so here's the Instant Pot. Now the lid will come off. Okay, so that's a natural pressure release.
I love the Instant Pot because it has that safety feature. If you can't open it, it's not safe to open, and it won't let you open it. So
if they're cooked properly, a fork will go in nice and soft, just like that. Look at that. All right, it's still firm, but yet soft, which is perfect. Like I said, when you get the little new potatoes, 3 minutes tops. With these, I put it in for 4 with the natural pressure. Now, sometimes even if they're a little al dente, that's fine for me. I'll put the lid back on, let them cook, or I'll take some out, because I know when I add it to my food, I'm going to wind up heating it up again or nuking it. And I still want them a little al dente. I don't want them to be all mushy. If they turn out mushy, I just make mashed potatoes. I mean, things happen. So
that's what you said last night. You were making potatoes last night, and you said, "Oh, I didn't take that lid off of the Instant Pot." And he said, "We might be having mashed potatoes," and that's what's great about it, because things don't have to be thrown away. You just figure out a different thing to do with them, right?
You cook your corn inside of this thing as well, but I just use a microwave. So what we've been doing when the corn is in season, we buy organic corn. Right? This comes from Sprouts. Not too many places have organic corn. Now you can buy organic corn in the can. You can buy organic corn frozen. Amy just recently is having her teeth worked on, for whatever reason. Anyway, so she can't eat corn on the cob. But I love eating corn on the cob because it pops in whatever. It pretty much tastes the same, but maybe not. I'm not
It's
sure.
not the taste; it's the fun of
The audience, what they
getting.
think.
Yeah.
Corn on the cob or cut corn that's
Green
already.
Warriors, do you like corn? First of all, do you like corn? And if you do you have a preference? Corn on the cob or corn in just in a bowl?
Hey,
Tell us in the comments what you like and why you think it might be better. And of course, like I said, the recipe is going to be in the description. And for those of you that are just joining us, we're doing recipe demos with my hubby Rick, who is my favorite person, and he's an excellent cook, and he does so many things in the kitchen. I do the prep and I do the cleaning, and so we just make a great team together. Mona said yes on the cob.
Yes, on the cob, right. If you have the choice, absolutely. Now, how's that view?
Okay, let's take a look and see. Okay, look at that. You made it work.
Okay.
I think that, yeah, I can see the whole almost the whole stove, but I can definitely see the frying pan.
Well, that's what we strive for.
We need a crew.
Okay, so I'm just going to put it on high, right? And I'll add some of this sauce in there. I'll add it all. Like I said.
Jennifer said, I like it on the cob, and my husband and I eat it differently. One in a round way and one across the cob.
Right? You don't even think about that. But I eat it round myself. I don't eat across. I think because my nose hits the cob when I'm eating. So if I go across, my nose gets all wet.
Mona said, I do the typewriter method. And if those of you that don't know what a typewriter is, I'm sorry. And greetings, Micheline. I hope I pronounced that right. Now I prefer corn on the plate because I hate the corn in my teeth, face, and glass. Yes, maybe she said glasses. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? But it's so nice. And I think about how I used to just put the corn on the cob. I would put butter on it and I would put salt on it. And it's now that my taste buds have neuroadapt and I don't use the butter and I don't use salt. Right. It just tastes so delicious. And when I see people eating it with butter and salt, I just say, oh, and we actually, right, Rick, we were watching some person do some kind of a recipe show on TV, and he was putting all kinds of crazy things on that corn on the cob. Yes. Including something, what?
Yes.
Yeah, including something from the sponsor. So I think that's why they did it. But he had like kosher salt all over it and all kinds of stuff. And then he took a bite and we both looked at each other and we went, oh gosh. Oh.
If you guys eat this way, this is what it was. It's one of those famous guys. He's like on 40 Minutes. I don't know. And he said, he went and said, okay, it's grilling time. It was Labor Day weekend. So he took out his corn in the husk. He laid it on his grill and he grilled it up. Then he took a little bit of the husk off and he grilled it again. And then he came back and he took butter and smeared it all over it and salted it all over. Threw some pepper on it, crushed pepper too. And then he took sour cream and coated the whole thing in sour cream, put it back on the grill for a little bit, took it out, and then he put cayenne pepper. I think it was cayenne or some kind of a
and you know, like when you're seeing a terrible, yeah. Well, we were shouting at the TV. We were like, "You're ruining it!
I think I would be sick if I ate that." Okay, here. This is what we got going. You're back on this other camera, Amy?
Yes.
All right. How's that looking? I'll toss in a spatula full of mushrooms.
And you're putting that in the frying pan that has that au jus sauce in it, right?
Yes. And it's boiling at this point. Now I have cooked cauliflower. Some of it's cooked anyway.
I can't see the frying pan at this point.
Why not?
I can see the colander.
Oh, wow. What happened?
Okay, there's the frying pan.
There we go.
Okay, so you
Okay.
had the liquid that was left over from the mushrooms, and you put some mushrooms in there, and now you're putting in some freshly chopped up cauliflower, right?
That's correct. And freshly chopped up cauliflower, which you cook it for like 5 minutes and it'll be nice and steamy. It's like, kind of like steaming. Then I take some broccoli and put that in. And because the sauces that were inside the mushroom sauce was already spiced, I don't bother putting any more spices in. Okay, then these are some tomatoes that we had from yesterday. That'll add a little bit of tomatoey flavor. And these are tomatoes from today. Toss them in. And then we had corn left over from last night. This is the corn that's not on the cob. That was frozen. And then we'll just mix those all up for a little bit. Like I said, right now it won't take too long. Dinner will be ready. Now, if you eat rice or quinoa or something like that, you want to put me on the other camera, Amy?
Sure, hang on.
So rice or quinoa, couscous. I don't eat couscous. I think it has gluten in it. My knuckles get arthritis-y if I eat gluten for some reason. I did a food elimination thing, and I was like, it's the gluten that's causing me to feel all crappy. Anyway.
Hang on a second. Mona wants to know, is there anything in the mushroom sauce before the cauliflower? Where does he come up with these concoctions?
Yes, when I made the mushrooms, I put in all this stuff.
Yeah,
right?
so if you came in a little late, Mona.
I made the mushrooms, I put spices inside of it.
Yeah.
We can put it in show notes, but
yeah, anyway. The recipe's going to be in the show notes. But yes, there were some seasonings in the mushrooms that he made previously, and you can watch that on the replay too.
Now,
because you had a busy day, right?
I would normally add tomorrow when I microwave it. I'll just throw some in. You can put in anything you want. Asparagus. I almost bought asparagus, but they wanted like $6.99 a pound, and I was like, no. So, that was organic.
So Mona wanted to know, how do you come up with these concoctions?
I wake up in the middle of the night and it's there. I don't know. Anyway, so right now it's ready. So I'll shut the stove off. I'm going to shut the stove off because this stuff at this point is, let me show you with a fork. If you can pierce it, pick it up, it's ready. And since now I got spiralized zucchini, this has been cooked in a microwave for 2 minutes. So all I'm doing right now is just heating it up.
So these are leftovers. You don't have to pre-cook it. These are leftovers. He just wanted to let you know that.
Yes. Anyway, now if you want, you can add some potatoes to it, which is cool. So since we're here, can you see this, Amy?
Yes, I actually can.
The potatoes?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just cut these potatoes like that and like that. Into bite-sized pieces. Well, these are like a little overcooked at this point.
You know that Vegan Knowledge Jay said, this is a great presentation. Thank you both. Isn't it great? And Mona said, you won the lottery with this fellow. And I did.
So you take these potatoes.
I don't know if he heard us.
With that?
We'll tell him later.
And now it's dinner time. Well, we will wind up eating a big salad. Let's show that salad. I'm going to take it off the heat.
Okay, can you hear me, Rick?
Yes.
Because Mona said you won the lottery with this fellow. And I did.
Thank you.
I did.
Thank you very much, Mona. Appreciate it. I won the lottery, though. I'm the one who actually won the lottery. So, all right. Thank you. Okay, what was I doing? She's got me all flustered. So,
She wanted to know if she's invited over for dinner.
oh yeah, we live in Southwest Florida. Almost any time. To be honest, we don't eat out that much anymore because, well, you know, if I could, we just enjoy the food so much better. When we go out to eat, there's always salt, there's always oil, and even if we ask for no salt, no oil, you say, can I at least have some steamed vegetables and just cook the potato, you know, in a microwave, or a baked potato. A lot of people, it's hard to find baked potatoes these days. And then the ones like the steakhouses, they usually have salt all over the outside of the potato, which is fine. You just eat the inside. But steakhouses are probably one of the best places to get a nice vegan meal. To be quite honest, I mean, their sides are asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, things like that. And a lot of them have a vegan option. But we'll ask for steamed, no salt. We were on a cruise ship. We went on that holistic cruise. And it was like after hours, and they had the buffet. We went to one of the cooks and said, hey, can you just make me some steamed broccoli? And he said, yeah, no problem, man. I said, oh, great. Thank you very much. He came out with
We said plain steamed broccoli. That's all.
Beautiful bowl of steamed broccoli. And we dug into it, and it was like he salted it when he steamed it. And I was like, oh, God. It was just overpowering for us. Tried to wash it off, couldn't do it.
Yeah,
he was gone, but you got to say no salt, because it's automatic for a chef to throw salt on it.
Yeah. I want to let you know that the Green Warriors are putting together a tour to come and see us for dinner. Vegan Knowledge, JJ told Jennifer that she wants to have her pick her up in Maryland on the way. And Mona said, I say we just go. And Jennifer said, that sounds like a great idea. It'll take me a while as I'm in Arizona. And Mona's in North Alabama. And JJ said, we may have to get leftovers. And I think they're going to make a Be Green with Amy bus.
Yeah, let's show salad.
Okay, let's show them the salad. Okay, hang on a second.
Okay, I didn't. If you guys want to see me make ice cream, we have to get moving.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so this is our salad.
Let me put you on the big screen here. Hang on a second.
So okay. This is our salad. We take 3 of those romaine things. So it's probably a pound of romaine, and then the big pound of spring mix, and chop it up inside of that Holland bowl. And then I take about, I'll show you a bowl. I'll chop up radish, fennel. See this bowl? It's a regular, soup bowl. So that'll be full of chopped up little cubed radish, and then fennel, onion.
And each bowl has a bowl full of each of those.
Right, one of these. So then I'll throw in, we'll take 5 oranges, split between 10 of these. And we make 10 of these at a time. And then we put them in the refrigerator. So.
And then we put in the beans and those mushrooms that he made earlier.
I don't know if you can see. Here, I'll show you my refrigerator. So everybody likes to see a refrigerator, right?
Okay.
Amy's not going to be happy with this, but.
We're
so
going
I got cauliflower, broccoli. These are the salads from tonight. I got grapes here. This is the organic corn. These are cut up radishes, mushrooms. These are the salads that are stacked. Pineapple. These are apple cores for my doggy. He loves apples. These are leftover stumps and the heads from the turnips. We grind them up and drink them in the morning. Oh, this is the dog food. This is the doggy treats with apple, Amy has me eating some cabbage sauerkraut. Oh, that's the doctor. He wants to improve my microbiome. And then we have chia and flax seeds. Okay, on the thing, hemp. What is that?
Hibiscus tea.
Hibiscus tea, aloe. That's the liquid that I use inside of my. This is a bag of oatmeal.
Yeah, we put those liquids in the smoothie.
Anyway,
That's where the dressing is going to go in that empty
the dressing
shell.
will go right here. This is the old one.
That's all we have left.
Yeah.
So that'll get it all filled
I
up.
opened up a
dressing.
new jar of mustard because I didn't want to run out on camera. And I make Parmesan, a little Parmesan cheese.
But it doesn't have cheese in it.
And then I make my own. This
Bring
is
it down
mustard,
so I can see. Yeah.
This is they ran out of sriracha. So I made my own sriracha. That was a guess. And it turned out pretty good. I was happy.
Thank you for the refrigerator tour.
Oh, you want to see my pantry? Check out the pantry. You want to see the pantry?
Oh no, we're going into the pantry. This is a linen closet, and you made it into a pantry.
Okay, can you see any of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is jackfruit, pineapple. The black beans are for my dog. I have some rotel that when we make
it's no salt.
The black bean salsa, I throw that in. Chili 9000, I buy that when the sale happens. I'll buy like 5-6 jars. The Newman salsa, I use a lot of that. These are mung beans, Amy Sprout's mung beans. This is lentils, split peas. Up
so
here
we
I
get
have
that big bag of like a 15-25 pound bag of lentils or beans, and then I
buy it from the nuts.com guy. This is
somebody had asked about that.
25 pounds of chickpeas, 25 pounds of black beans, but I get it wherever I find the best sale. And these guys have
so far.
Prices have gone up everywhere, but they're pretty good. And then I vacuum pack a lot of things, so that's my vacuum packer. When I use date syrup, I try to use this. It's organic, the Date Lady thing. We buy in bulk, so this is peppercorns and mustard. Anyway,
mustard seeds, yeah.
Yeah. And then inside of here, we bought a bunch of Mother Earth.
Those are all dehydrated
foods. This is oats. I bought like a 25-pound bag of oats. Chia seeds I buy in big bulk. And then we got a bunch of spices.
Extra spices.
Anyway, that's a quick overview. Got another Instapot.
I did not.
Rice cooker. What?
I didn't know we were going to get this tour.
Yeah, you never know.
Good. It's a good thing because people like to see what's in your kitchen, what's in your refrigerator. They like to see that. So that was kind of unexpected, but it was still cool.
So this is our meal that we'll eat tonight.
So tell us what you got there.
Oh, this is what we just cooked.
For people that are coming in late.
Okay. What's in it?
No, just the name of the dish.
Oh, I didn't name it.
Okay, then tell us.
You guys name it.
Yeah, tell us.
What's in it is it's just a stir fry per se, but it's more like a steamed sautéed vegetables. So it's got the mushrooms. So inside the mushrooms was the peppers and onions, and then the spices. And then I threw in cauliflower, broccoli, spiralized zucchini, tomatoes, potatoes, and corn. Now you could throw that over rice. You could add more spices to it if you want to. I mean, a lot of times I'll take some tomato sauce or the salsa, and I'll throw a couple of spoonfuls of the salsa in there, and it'll give it more of a Mexican-y flavor. If you want more Mexican, throw in a little cumin, or you could give it an Indian vibe, like an Abu Dhabi type of thing. There's all sorts of stuff. And then I'll turn around and I'll steam this corn. This is what I do. We have glass lock and locks. They're not lock and locks. Maybe they are lock and locks. I'm not sure. So I'll take the corn out. I'll put it inside this bowl, right? And then I'll fill the bowl up with water These things will float just a little bit. I could fit 4 corn cobs inside there. Put it in the microwave for 4 minutes. 4 minutes microwave in water. And then you just eat it. You could eat it raw. In fact, I had a friend from Texas when I was going to school in Arizona. I had a friend from Texas brought me to his daddy's farm, and we went into the corn maze, and he ripped off a couple of stalks because I guess they were ripe at the time, and he just started eating them. And I said, "You can't eat corn raw." "Oh yeah, you can." And it was delicious. You can eat raw corn. I don't recommend it unless it's organic, but you know.
So we were asking the Green Warriors to come up with a name for the dish, and Jennifer said Rick's Dish of Delish.
Thank you, Jennifer. You were very, very good on Amy's show last
Wasn't she? She's coming back on. She was just fabulous. And Jennifer says she eats raw organic corn. So good.
Yeah. But you want to make sure it's organic. Okay, so you want to do the ice cream or no?
Well, I would like to have ice cream tonight. So yeah.
We ran out of ice cream.
Green Warriors, do you want to see Rick make his nice cream? It's not ice cream, but it's called nice cream, right? So
nice cream.
He's going to make that real quick. He's going to do it anyway.
I'm gonna make it anyway.
And Michelle said that you could cook the corn in the Instant Pot for 2 minutes.
That's correct. You just put a little water and put them on a basket. You stick it on 2 minutes, and it just warms it all up.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, but to me it takes longer. That's why I do it the other way and just stick it in the microwave.
Yeah.
Because you got to get the Instant Pot out, fill it up, put the corn in there, and then plug it in. Wait till it gets up to pressure for 2 minutes. Do you do a natural pressure release or do you do an instant release?
We'll have to see. I hope I don't know how to pronounce the name. Micheline is talking about the corn. So tell us what your if you do a natural pressure release or if you just vent it right away.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody will want to know.
Yeah, because it's always nice to have different methods. And we love the Instant Pot. We have a few of them, actually. We have the little 3-quart one, and we have a couple of the 6-quart ones. And it's just so handy because if you wanted to do some batch cooking, I have a client that works during the week and only has the weekend to do fun things and also make sure that she's got all the batch cooking done. And so she's got the Instant Pot going, the microwave going, the oven going, and you can really get a lot done because I helped her figure out how to orchestrate this. She was doing it, but I helped her fine tune it. And Mitch, tell me if I'm saying your name wrong, Micheline, but it's natural pressure.
She does a natural pressure with 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to let you know. Thank you for that. Yes.
Okay, now we need
anytime, Jennifer. We love having you on the show. Okay, so he's still setting up the camera so that he can make the nice cream. So we have different ways.
Is that in the right position?
Let's take a look. Hang on. Okay, so I can see, go to your right for the, okay, or turn that to the left. Yeah, but I can only see part of he's going to adjust that a little bit.
Oh, so, the camera's going to fall down.
Yeah. So this would be nice if we had a crew to help us with this, but we're doing it on our own here, and Rick's doing a great job. Hey, everybody click like for Rick, because I like him. Do you like Rick? Do you like what he's doing here today? Let's get some likes or hearts going.
Where's my Vitamix?
Okay. And while he's looking for the Vitamix, I wanted to ask all of you,
I need to clean it out.
You guys like to have a treat after dinner or whatever? We like to have, Jennifer said, I so enjoy ice cream. Yes, I do too. And especially since I've gotten these things on my teeth, it's something that is easy to eat. It just kind of dissolves in my mouth. So I really, look, Mona's giving you a like, and Micheline's giving you a wave there. Thank you so much.
Okay. How's that all look?
Okay, let's take a look and see. Oh, look at that. You did a great job, Rick. I can see the whole Vitamix.
Okay,
And
good.
and Mona said, "Oh my gosh, I just saw the bottom of his apron." Wait, let's put you on solo. Hang on. No, but
Oh,
the Vitamix
yeah.
is in the way. Okay, everybody, check out Rick's.
Okay. So,
Jennifer, I did this for because my dentist told me to do it. It wasn't for cosmetic, so that's the way it goes.
so I take walnuts. I'm going to say that's about a cup of walnuts. Okay. And I take some hemp seed. Now, I don't follow anybody's recipe. I'm going to say that's about a quarter cup. Okay. And then I buy this in Walmart. It's like date paste. It's very reasonable in Walmart. It's not reasonable anywhere else, which is funny. But you can use dates as well. Just make sure you get all the plastic off, because sometimes it doesn't work that way. You don't realize that the plastic's still
He
on.
cuts right into the plastic, so
It's got a little cellophane peels off. Anyway, so that's about a third of this. So this is 13 ounces. So you break it down, third. So that's about 4 ounces. 4 ounces would make what? 12? So four and a quarter ounces. Depends how sweet you want it. You want it less sweet? So whatever you want. Anyway, so then I take water. Let's see. Oh, no. I take vanilla powder.
Do you guys have a question for Rick? Type it in the comment, or if you have a question for me. Oh, where Mona wants to know where in Walmart. What was that section that you found?
International. That's the international aisle.
Yeah.
It's all in the international aisle. They also have a syrup. It's not organic. This is not organic. Now, normally when I buy my dates, I try to be organic, but this stuff is just so reasonable. It's like it was $2 and change for 13 ounces. You can't beat the price, and it's already pulverized for you. So I take vanilla bean powder, and I throw in about, I don't know, half a tablespoon. Now, it's not cheap, but it makes it taste so much better.
It just takes it up to the next level. And I'll have a link to the vanilla bean powder that we use in the show notes and in the recipe. So you guys will all get to see that. And Jennifer says, I'm having a really great time with you all. Yeah. We should do a couples day with
Then I take
your
sweet
hubby.
potato.
Okay,
I take sweet potato, and I take the skin off it. This has already been cooked. I cooked this in the microwave for about 9 minutes, so it's kind of mushy. And I take medium-sized ones. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I take 2 of them. I throw that in. We have a friend who just makes it with Japanese sweet potatoes. She has a special name for them. And then our neighbor, you see that? This is a Florida banana. Florida bananas compared to, I guess, Ecuador bananas. I'm not sure. Anyway, so we're going to, I've never tasted these. He just gave them to us yesterday. And I told Amy, I said, well, look at that. It's a cute little banana. Let me taste it. Tastes like a banana. Anyway, so normally I would throw in 5 of these. And traditionally, they're frozen already. But we ran out of bananas because I kind of stopped eating bananas for a while.
They're pretty addictive. And
I wanted to lose some weight. And I did. I lost 5 pounds. I want to lose another 5 pounds.
Yeah, the bananas are pretty calorie dense compared to the berries. So, and they're just so easy to just eat a whole banana.
I was putting 2 inside of our smoothie every morning.
Yeah.
You know, so because I love the creaminess, and it took a while for me to start liking my smoothies again, to be honest.
Yeah.
After I took the bananas out.
We're in the black belt stage of whole food plant-based since we've been doing it since 2012. So our taste buds have definitely adapted, and we can eat things that aren't as sweet or don't taste as salty.
But usually, the bananas that I use are the ones that are going almost, they're soft, really soft. They're softer and mushier.
And brown.
They're brown, and
Yeah.
they're sweeter. They're much sweeter, so you don't have to use as much dates or whatever. But anyway,
Right. So
and
that's
these,
why you put the dates in. Normally, the bananas are much more brown and sweeter, so you don't use as much date paste, or maybe you won't use any at all.
right.
And we like to, when the bananas get brown, that's when we like to peel them and put them in the freezer. We cut them up in like thirds, and then we'll have a whole bunch of cut up frozen bananas. And then whenever we want them for a recipe, like for the ice cream, they're available.
And then I usually put in some oats. And I'm going to put it anyway. Normally, I'll blend them a little bit. So that's about a quarter cup of oats. And then I will put some water in there. And I would turn around and say it's probably about 2 cups. You don't want to put too much. You don't want to put too little. But headset.
Okay, hang on a second. Gonna mute you. So what Rick does is he protects his ears, because we are going to be around for a long time, and we don't want to be old and healthy and not be able to hear anything. So it's always a good idea to protect your ears when you're using things like this. And I wanted to give a shout out to everybody who's watching on Instagram. I can see you there. If you have any questions, type them in the comments, and I'll pop over there and check it out. And any of you that are there watching us on YouTube or Facebook, just if you have a question, let us know and type it in the comments, and we'd love to answer your question.
You know what, Amy?
Look at that.
Amy, I forgot the most important part.
Yes, I was just about to say, doesn't look very brown.
Right now, it's like vanilla ice cream.
And Rick really prefers the vanilla taste, and I'm the one that loves chocolate. So isn't he so nice? So he's making it now. He's going to make it chocolate, the cacao powder.
I should have already thrown the chocolate in, but I forgot. You guys, you gave me so many nice things. You got me flustered. Anyway.
Well, you've been making a lot of recipes.
2 of these, which is probably like a half a cup. Anyway.
Plant-based Princess said, "This is fun." Oh, Jennifer, did you see our doggy Zeus? She just caught a glimpse of him. I guess he walked by.
Hi, buddy. He's always at my feet in the kitchen, hoping that I'm dropping stuff, and I do. He's
plant-based also, and
sometimes intentionally.
Yeah, well, I'm going to mute Rick again. Hang on a second, so he can. And you can see how he's not using the tamper, so he's got his hand on top of the opening there, because that's one thing that happens for newbies, and sometimes people that aren't newbies. You can get some of that stuff coming out of that opening in the Vitamix. So now he's going to try and mix that cacao powder in, which is going to be a little tricky, because he usually puts it in before he does that. Okay, yeah. So, and this is a good question. And so Moda said, after you blend the ice cream ingredients, could you put it in the Ninja Creamy?
Yes. What I normally do, and when we have our potlucks, that's about the only time we eat the creamy.
We have tofu plant-based potlucks. So everybody that comes to our potluck, they bring their own, and it's all SOS free, and it's all whole food plant-based. So we have a gathering. Go ahead,
Right.
Rick.
So we have a gathering every other Thursday, and half dozen to a dozen people show up at my house, and they all expect an ice cream for dessert. I mean, it's a gimme. They just know it's happening. I mean, they all have creamies. They could bring it, but they don't.
Because they like your ice cream. So yes, so we do have a Ninja Creamy, and Rick will take some of the ice cream that he makes, and he will put them in a container and freeze them. And for those of you that aren't familiar with a creamy, wow. You think that you don't need it, and then you get it and you say, wow, this is really good. But he's not always putting it in the containers for the creamy, right, Rick?
No. Normally, like this one's a little shy of what I normally make. So none of this will go inside the creamy because Amy has these popsicles that she likes to eat. And the popsicles look like this. So she has a popsicle every night, just about every night, right, Amy?
Yes, sir.
She used to have popcorn and an ice cream, but now with the braces, she can't have popcorn anymore.
Which I'm better off not having it.
I cut out the popcorn because I want to lose weight. I cut out the ice cream too, but now I'm starting to eat the ice cream again.
But yeah. Well, it's my only indulgence is the ice cream, because I am strictly whole food, plant-based, no sugar, oil, or salt, no cheat days, no cheat meals. I'm totally this way, and let me put
See
a
the
close up on
consistency of that. This is a little chunky at this particular time, but normally with me, if it's made right, my the thermocouple inside the Vitamix will shut it off so it doesn't burn itself out. And then a minute later, it's okay to go for a little bit longer. Watch.
Yep, so he's blending it up. Yes, Jennifer, you should definitely wear ear protection. Whenever we, like a food processor, any of these loud machines, because we're right next to them. And if you go to a smoothie shop, they had those special things. Hang on a second, Rick, I muted you. Okay, we're back.
It just died on its own.
Okay.
So I'll shut it off.
Yeah,
and then I
might have overheated.
This off like this.
Yeah, so our Vitamix is over 10 years old.
Yes.
So we don't want to make you think that a Vitamix isn't good.
It's abused every day. No,
yes, several times a day.
I don't think that it's because it's old that it's shutting off.
No.
I think that it's a workhorse, but even with that, it's like cement.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like cement. That's the way I make it. Now, other people have different recipes and they do different things. This is kind of like made up. I mean, I've looked at other recipes and I do that with all of them. And then I just kind of do what I want to do.
Yeah. So, but what will happen is it'll cool off because it basically kind of overheated, right, Rick?
Yes.
So it'll cool off. And then when it cools off, it'll run again. So it's not broken. So if that ever happens to you, that's something that you can think about. Yeah. Okay. So Vegan Knowledge JJ want to know, what kind of milk substitute do you guys use on a regular basis, or do you make your own?
You don't drink milk for the most part.
You don't drink any plant milk, but in recipes, it often calls for plant milk, right, Rick?
Correct. So with me, I don't make the milk like this one here. I added walnuts, I added hemp seed, I added oats. You add water to any one of those or all three, you get milk. You get a walnut-based milk, you get a hemp seed-based milk, you get an oatmeal-based milk. So it's already in there. So the milk is part of the whole food. Now you can make the milk with water and oats and blend them together and to the consistency you like it. And if you don't like the graininess, you can put it through a cheesecloth and strain it out. You can use it with almonds, do the same way. If you want it sweetened, you throw in a chunk of this date paste. And like when I make oatmeal, Amy doesn't eat oatmeal, I eat oatmeal. But I'll take the oats, I'll take the water and date syrup and squirt about a tablespoon of date syrup in there. Throw it in the microwave for a minute and a half. Sometimes it boils over, and then I'll mix it and I'll let it sit for a little bit and then I'll eat it once it's cool enough to eat. So, that's oat milk, but I didn't blend the oats. But hemp seed, same way. You put hemp seed in there, put the water in there. You want to sweeten, throw in a little date syrup. We don't use sugar, stevia, any of that stuff. Basically, our sweetener are raisins and or dates, and the
or dried
raisins we use for the special sauce.
for the dressing, or other dried fruits. We just recently, a friend of ours gave us some dried jackfruit, and that was nice and sweet too. So there's a lot of things that you can use. But so we used to try to make, we used to buy the plant milk, and then it has so many bad ingredients. I don't want to even deal with it. And then we were throwing away a lot of it because it was going bad, because we really weren't using it unless we were using it in recipes. And then sometimes what Rick used to do is he would get like almond butter, and he would take almond butter and put that with water and then blend that together, and then that made a creamier, not as gritty kind of almond milk, right, Rick?
Yeah, but if you grind up the stuff before time, it won't be gritty.
Yeah.
And then especially if you squeeze it through a cheesecloth, it'll take out all that grit.
Yeah.
And then you can cook that in something else with something else.
Yeah. But now that we've been doing this for over a decade, the grittiness in the milk or whatever it is, it doesn't bother us.
Gives you something to chew on. You get it stays between your teeth, and you get a little meal later on.
Especially me.
No. She's a big fan of the water pick now.
Oh,
big
yes.
fan.
Thank goodness.
Good.
If you guys don't have a water pick.
Head shot. Let me overhead shot.
Yeah, hang on a second. If you guys don't have a water pick, definitely it takes your hygiene up to the next level. I'm going to put that in a solo mode.
So see, it's very thick. And I just pour them into the ice pops. Sometimes it's thinner. Most of the time it's a little thinner. This is kind of thick, more thick than normal. But that's okay. As long as it goes inside the let me fill up this last one, you'll get a better view. Okay, you see? So this one's a little full. I'll take that off, stick it in here. So I'll fill up all of those, and then I'll just pop these on. It's good. That one's tasty. See? So usually I'll do them all at once, and then I'll put the lids on. I just wanted to show you how we do it. But I've been doing this a long time. Make them every other week. And whatever's left over that doesn't go inside the ice pops, I make into little bowls. And I'll show you that as well. So she said, what are you going to what are you going to do for the show? And I said, well, dinner. And we just ran out of ice cream, and we ran out of the mushrooms when we put the salads together. And we finished eating on, a lot of times a meal like that will last us 3 days. And if it doesn't, we will freeze it. And then my daughter will take it home when she comes and visits us. Is that right, Amy?
Yes, that is right. She loves to come and go into the freezer where we have all of the meals frozen, and we have soups. And that's one thing that you're going to be showing us in a little bit, is what you can do with the soups to freeze them. But these are great. So anytime you want to have some nice cream, hi, Jess. She's sending you a heart. And anytime you just want to have a treat, it's right there for you. And you can just have a treat. And you know that now, if you ever get a creaming machine, that takes this up to the next level, because you freeze it in the container for the creaming machine. And then after it's frozen, you spin it in the machine for the creamy, and it comes out, instead of pourable like this is, or frozen hard like it will be.
I take this and I put it in the creamy containers. In fact, we can do that with this one.
Okay. So it comes out where you can actually scoop it out with an ice cream scoop.
So this is a creamy container. I have the smaller one. The newer one is 24. I think this is a 16 ounce. I probably have enough to fill this one up. But normally, at this point, I would take these little glass bowls, right? And I would fill this up with ice cream, and I get 4 or 5 of them, and I put them in the freezer. She'll have an ice pop, and I'll have a bowl.
But
'Cause
this comes out like rock
I prefer it
hard.
out of a bowl.
This
But
comes
anyway.
out rock hard when you have it in that bowl. So it's not going to be
And I
like
eat
a
it with a
soft serve.
fork.
Yeah. You could eat it with a fork or a spoon, but you got to eat it with a fork because that's what you use to kind of shave it off. But it makes it last longer.
Well,
too.
you don't shave it. I don't shave it. I
Yeah,
chop
but I
into
don't
it.
have the patience for that to scrape it with the fork. So I just like it.
When I have the ice pop, I just bite them. She kind of licks them, which
I
is
try
nice.
to make it last longer.
And I like watching her do it, but you know.
But that's another show. So here he is.
I'm terrible.
He's taking out putting it into this. This is the vessel that comes with the creaming machine. There are many models. We have the one that has the pint-sized vessel, and you get 4 of them with the machine. Then there's a newer one that has I think it's a 3 cup. Yes, a 3 cup container. But they all basically work the same. And so this will go in the freezer, and then we'll put it into the creaming machine when it's frozen solid. And instead of having to scrape it with a fork, the machine is going to whip it up, and it is going to come out like a scoopable ice cream. So you can take an actual ice cream scoop, scoop it up, and plop, and there you go. You'll have a scoop of ice cream. And so we're going to be having a potluck coming up soon. And so we already have some.
Well, we had 3 of them fully made, and Amy ran out of ice cream pops, so we used the creamy last night and the night before, and we had bowls of ice cream instead, which were really good. It's just that you eat more than you would normally eat, you know. So, I mean, you could eat one of these whole things all by yourself, no problem. Well, we'll split it in 2, where this probably would make 3 ice pops. You know, so I would have an ice pop, she would have an ice pop, but because it's the way that it is, you just split the bowl in 2. Now, if you're alone, it's going to be hard because it's going to be hard for you not to eat the whole thing. Because if it's in your house, what do they say, Amy?
It's in your mouth.
Yeah, but it's good, but it's fattening, you know. So if you're not concerned about the weight or anything like that. Well, you know, I mean, even it's got a lot of nuts, so that's a lot. We keep our arteries pretty clean. I mean, I had high blood pressure, I had cholesterol issues, and then when I went to this, I lost over what Amy weighs. So a lot of times I'll have her jump on my back, or I'll pick her up and I'll say, "This is how much weight I lost," you know, and it makes a big difference in your life. It really
Yes,
does.
it does. We actually, I wanted to show them this is our before picture again, so I could see. And were you still doing something? And then we can.
No,
talk
I
about
was just
this?
tasting it.
Oh,
It's delicious.
that's
You
the
could
thing
probably
about
use
being a
more
cook.
sweetness.
That's the advantage, right? You get to
Yes.
taste things. Yeah. So this is us before. This is back in 2012, and so you were talking about your health. Why don't you tell us about how your health was?
I don't have my glasses on, but that says I weigh 263 pounds.
Yep, and your cholesterol was
210.
10,
Well, you guys could read.
and your blood pressure was 160/80, and that weight
And
that
was on blood pressure.
was being managed by medications. That's what his blood pressure was.
Yeah.
And so he had a lot of different health issues that were going on, right?
So I started eating this way, and I started losing weight, and I had to check my blood pressure. I checked my blood pressure 3 times a day, you know, and I tracked it and I charted it, and I went to my doctor and I said, "Look, my blood pressure is dropped. I'm down to like 115. I'm on medicines. I'd like to either wean or take myself off medicines." So he had me on cholesterol, plus he had me on blood pressure. So he said, "Well, I don't want to take you off the blood pressure, but I want you to go get yourself a heart scan, which is a calcification score of your heart. And I want you to see a heart guy, a cardiologist. I'll take you off He said, I'll take you off. He weaned me off the blood pressure, or took me
But
off
he
the
wouldn't
blood,
take you off of
but he wouldn't
the,
take me off the cholesterol medicine.
yeah.
So I went and had the calcification score, and it said I had calcification in all my chambers. Amy had one done at the same time, and she was like an 18-year-old, which is what her colon looks like now too, according to her colonoscopy that she had.
Yes.
Anyway, so I went to the cardiologist, and he said, "Well, I'll take you off your cholesterol, but I won't take you off your blood pressure." And I was like, "Okay." But the other guy took me off the blood pressure, and he took me off the cholesterol. So ever since then, I've been medicine free.
Yeah, because I was watching on PBS, I was watching Dr. Joel Furman, and he was talking about how the food, it can either hurt you or help you with your health. And Rick walked by when I was watching the show, and I kept watching it because it was 3 segments. So, and I couldn't catch it on time all the time.
Oh, she was watching it all the time.
Yeah, because we didn't have any
in,
way of recording it. So I would just keep going on and trying to watch it. So he said, "You like PBS, support the station, buy it." And I said, "Well, then what happens if I buy it? Then I'm going to learn even more about this. And then what should we do?" And Rick, what'd you say? Do you remember?
I said, if it tastes good, I'll eat it. But if it doesn't taste good, I won't eat it.
And did it taste good?
No.
No. Because we went all in, whole food plant-based, and we didn't have any sugar, oil, or salt. And our taste buds were not neuroadapted at that point, and things did not taste good. But it got better.
It actually made me feel sick. I felt like I had the flu for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, when we were in the very beginning, you were going through withdrawal.
That's
yeah,
correct. I was
and
going through withdrawal.
You said, "I can't do this if much longer, so this may not be the way to go for me to eat." But then you started losing weight, and what happens is, tell me if in the comments if you've adopted this lifestyle, if weight loss was a side effect for you, and how did that work out for you? For us, as the weight was coming off, we had to keep going through our clothes and donating the ones that were just ridiculously too big. But Rick always had this one sweatshirt that he wouldn't give up. And then we were in the bedroom one day, and
I was a Chiefs fan because we were living in Kansas City before the Chiefs were any good. Let's put it that way. And that's a Chiefs jersey.
Yes. So you didn't want to give it up.
I don't know where it is anymore. Amy makes things disappear sometimes on me.
I think that you agreed, because we were saying, I said to you, "This is so big."
We moved so many times. We had to downsize.
But I said, "This is so big on you. It's huge." And you said, "Come here." And you picked it up and you put it over my head too.
That's correct.
And then our daughter Jess was walking by the bedroom, and she took out her phone and snapped this picture because she thought it was hilarious and maybe cute too. But this is the difference that it made for us going with this lifestyle, that, and I tell people, because it got to the point before we ate this way that I couldn't wrap my arms completely around you, that my fingers tips wouldn't touch. And then I tell people that after we adopted this lifestyle and things got better, and now we're a lot closer, right, hon?
Yes, hon.
Literally too.
No, it's true.
So, and then this is our wedding picture on your left. And Rick had told me that if I had teased her. I had teased you. I said, if you ever get back in your wedding dress, we'll renew our vows. Yes. And I was like, I had my wedding dress because my mom had it put away for me in a box at the dry cleaners. So I had it. I'm like, I don't even know why I'm keeping this thing. I'm never going to fit into it again. So this is like 22 years later, 22 years later. And I did. And it had all these buttons going up the back, and I actually got them all closed. I was just so amazed. So yes, we did. We renewed our vows, and that was just so awesome. Yep. And then there's our before and after picture. So things got a lot better. You got off all your medications, right? Correct. And we got healthier. Yeah. And I'll be honest, dude, for me, it was like, I'm not sure if you ever saw that movie, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead.
I saw that years and years ago. I felt like that man. I didn't have his disease, but I mean, I couldn't touch my toes because I couldn't see my toes. You know, so I could. It all got in the way. You couldn't touch your toes. You know, when I tried to start exercising, I was in such pain from everything. I mean, I couldn't. I don't think I could do a push-up. You know, I used to work a job where I was physically manual, and then I went into a job where it was sit down, computer, you know, talking, meetings, conferences, things like that. And then I went back into the manual labor because the company got, well, bought out. And that's when I tore out all my stuff because I wasn't fit enough in order to do the manual labor that I was used to doing. I had been used to doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And Whole Food Plant-Based Princess said, my husband and I have each lost 50. Wow. Although I could still lose some more. I don't know how long you've been doing this. I don't remember, but even in the last year, I dropped another, I dropped another 5 pounds, and I dropped another 5 pounds after that when I didn't think it could be possible.
Well,
And yeah,
I'll tell you, you want to lose a couple extra pounds, get in touch with Amy. She does counseling. It won't take very many things. She'll turn around and food journal you and talk you through. And those little things that you know you think is fine, if you want to lose weight, they're not. You know, you got to cut out certain things. You'll wind up losing that weight. Once you lose that weight, you can kind of taper that stuff back in until you see yourself teetering. You know, you'll feel the difference tremendously. But,
Jennifer said healing was what?
Wonders.
Oh, thanks, hon.
You do.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been having some really great clients that are willing to do what I asked of them, and they're getting results, and it's very rewarding. And Jennifer said healing was my focus, and the side effect was weight loss of almost 40 pounds.
Correct.
And my husband the same, and he got off his BP meds so fast. Great job, you two. Well, great job, you two.
Really quick, really quick. I mean, within a month, if you actually do the SOS, I mean, I tape it myself in, but because I until I found the spices that I enjoyed, the food was terrible. Well, it wasn't terrible, but we threw out quite a few meals. Now I will turn around and cook something and say, ugh, but I'll spice it up or change things around, and you can taste it as you add things in, and you say, okay, this is a lot better now. I made a black bean soup the other day, you know, and it was terrible. I was like, why is this so bad? Then I added a little date syrup, a little more cumin, a little mustard, and something like that, and I was like, the next day we were eating it, and I was like, wow, this is really good. And I served it for the potluck, and they were like, this is really good black bean soup. I said, yeah, it surprised me.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mona wanted to know if I thought more than 3 servings of fruit is hampering weight loss. I would really have to take an overall look at everything that you're eating. And because for some people that could be, and depending on the fruit, for other people, no. So I would just really have to take a look and see everything that you're eating to figure that out.
And everybody's body metabolism is a little.
Yeah. And Micheline's, Whole Food Plant-Based Princess said, wow. Micheline said, very hard time to lose weight. Yeah, it is a difficult journey, but sometimes it's just something that you need a little tweaking on. And, you know, if you contact me, I can definitely help you with that. So
our Instapot just died. That one with the chickpeas?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah, we really work these machines very hard, and we've had them for a long time. When we bought these machines, they didn't even have the 8-quart available. That's why we wound up getting 2 6-quart. That's how old our Instant Pots
we
are.
had 3. We gave one to my father. Then we wound up with another one after the other one died from that.
Yeah, but they're definitely worth the price, and they're worth having. And we will get another one if you don't figure out how to fix it. And oftentimes you do. So I wanted to tell everybody that I am so proud.
I know what it is. It's the cord.
Oh, the cord came out. Okay, yay, you fixed it. So what I wanted to tell everybody that we have a recipe ebook, and you wrote these recipes. You made them, and so we decided to say that it would be called Like Flavor. Then
if you like flavor,
yeah. So if you want, I'll put it in the show notes. You can click on a link. It's very reasonable, and you can get an ebook with recipes. There's pictures of every single recipe that Rick has made, and it's got all kinds of desserts and main dishes and side dishes and all kinds of delicious things. And a lot of these foods are the things that we eat a lot, that they're rotating through our menu, right, Rick?
Yeah. Yeah, and I've changed some of those recipes, but those recipes are good. And, I've gone on to other things. We should write another one, to be quite honest.
Yes. Yeah, I think we should,
You
because
go through your phases of the different foods, and then you find those 5 or 6 or 7 or even 3 recipes that you just continuously. And with me, it's like you make something like that meal there. Tomorrow it'll be the same meal, but it'll be tweaked with something different probably. Like tomorrow I'll add those little pea pods to it. Absolutely. And then when it gets a little smaller, sometimes I'll add it with a hamburger. I'll take some, because I made
a plant-based burger.
Yeah, plant-based burger. I have bean burgers or lentil burgers. When I make the split pea soup, I'll make what's left over into crackers. Amy got me a dehydrator. I use the microwave to suck out most of the moisture, and then I throw it in the dehydrator to firm them up so they don't burn. You find your little things that you like, and you do.
Yeah, it doesn't happen all at once. You develop these things that you like to make, and you develop routines, right? Because Jennifer want to know if you do all the prep on one day of the week.
Today I did, but normally no. I have back issues, so standing up, I have fatigue mats, those little rubber mats all over the kitchen floor. So I'll make beans. Beans are easy because all you do is have to soak. Sometimes I don't even soak them. I just rinse them and I put them in the Instapot. So I'll make chickpeas, a big pot of chickpeas. I'll drain that off and save the water. And then the aquafaba from the chickpeas, I will cook the black beans in. I'll add more water. So I'll make 2 big Instapots of chickpeas and black beans all in the same day. But I'm not really doing anything. I just add it, and the Instapot does it all. 40 minutes later, and then I do a natural pressure release on them all. And then I cook the black beans. And then with the black bean aquafaba from the chickpeas, I make a black bean soup. So I'll take that pepper and onion mixture, and I'll throw that in, and then I'll take a jar of salsa and I'll throw that in. And normally a little bit of table tasty and a little bit more of this chili 9000 stuff. Depends. And add some black beans after that kind of cooks together a little bit. I put it on just a warm mode, and throw the black beans in, mix it all together, and then throw it inside of a pot. Throw it in the refrigerator. The next day, you got black bean soup, and then we take it and we put it inside of these things.
While he's looking there, I just wanted to show you our before and happily ever after picture. I hope this has motivated all of you, because it doesn't happen right away, but you can regain your health. And let's just see what Rick wanted to.
It helped out tremendously with me. I don't know if I'd be alive today, to be honest. I was in pretty bad shape. Anyway, these are
super cubes.
And then it makes a cup. So we put the black bean soup inside of there, and you have a chunk. And 1 is enough for some people. 2 is better, in my opinion. But my daughter will come and she'll take home a bunch of soup with her.
Yeah.
And we eat it too.
Yep. And then we pop those out into gallon size Ziploc bags, so you can fit 8 of the cubes in there. So you don't keep them in the super cube. You just keep them until they're frozen, then pop them out. And then he'll put the mushrooms that he made. He'll put them in there too. He'll put all kinds of things in there. Well, we have been here for a while, and we have been having so much fun. And so much fun with all of you Green Warriors, because you've been giving us great comments and questions, and it's just been so fabulous. And I want to thank my hubby Rick for sharing his incredible journey.
Put it on the other one, if you would,
okay,
so they can see me putting this.
Okay, Hank. I don't know if I think it disappeared. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Somehow it disappeared.
Anyway, I put them inside a glass lock and locks.
Okay. So he's taking the mushrooms and he'll show you. He puts them in order for them to cool off, he'll put them into these glass containers that have lockable lids. And then after that, he may decide to put some of them into the super cubes, or he might use these in a recipe. But
This is tonight's dinner. I'll
this is
show
for
it to you.
tonight's dinner. So just, yeah, show us there.
See, I put it inside this. That's what we'll eat tonight for
Yeah.
dinner,
It's going to be great.
which is in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's
But
almost
I-
5 o'clock here.
I know. I wanted to thank you, darling, my husband Rick, for sharing your incredible journey with us and showing us how to make all that delicious whole food, plant-based, SOS free food that I will now get to eat. Yay. So I usually ask my guests this question. So maybe I can ask you, Rick, what is your final take-home message for our Green Warriors?
Well, it depends on what stage of life you're in. If you don't eat this way, you should truly start to eat this way. The more meat and dairy, especially dairy, cheese, cut cheese and dairy out of your life completely. If you want to start anyway, even if you don't want to cut the meat out, but the meat, it's not good for you. It doesn't matter whether it's organic, farm fed, whatever. All the doctors will tell you the same thing, at least the plant-based doctors.
Okay.
So do that at the
Yep,
very least.
I agree. It's so worth it, and nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. And we feel younger now than we did over a decade ago when we first started this journey. And so that's not how it's supposed to be for most Americans, but that's how it is for us. Green Warrior, tell us what you're going to remember from today's presentation. There's a lot of things to remember. And I also wanted to thank Jess Task Voice. She did the countdown, she did the promos, she did all the intros and all the thumbnails. She did so many wonderful things. Jess Task Voice, tell us who is coming up next.
Are stress and negative emotions holding you back? Join Nikki Perkins as she reveals the transformative power of EFT tapping, a simple yet powerful technique to heal and rewire your emotions for a more balanced life. Wednesday, September 18th, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, on Be Green with Amy Live.
And thank you, Green Warrior, for joining us today. Your engagement and your support make these discussions meaningful and impactful. And I'm so glad that you joined me in my green kitchen with my hubby, Rick, and got to see the special things that he makes for you. I hope you're feeling inspired by that, to take a closer look at your food choices and make some positive changes for your health and well-being. And please remember, every bite we take, it's an opportunity to nourish our bodies and become the healthiest versions of ourselves. And please stay tuned for more empowering content. And please subscribe to my channel and all my social media, and share my message with others who can benefit, because together as Green Warriors, we can make a meaningful difference in the world. And as a special thank you to all of you, and I did talk about that earlier, that we have all these recipes available, but I'm going to even send you 5 free recipes. And so just go on to begreenwithamy.com/join. And these are Rick's recipes, and I'll send them to your inbox one at a time over a short period of time, and you can enjoy those, and they're free. So isn't that going to be fun? And now, and this is special to me because I tell my guests and my Green Warriors to do this all the time, but I have not done that with you yet, Rick. So I like to tell people
and do it.
What?
Come in here and do it.
Oh,
Give me a hug.
then I have to run back here. You can come in here.
That's true. I'll be there.
Okay, he's going to come in here and do it. Okay, let me just hang on a second. So he left the kitchen, so we'll put you out there. Ooh.
I come to you.
Oh, look at that. Here he is. Okay, so Green Warriors, take your left hand and touch your right shoulder, and your right hand and cover your left shoulder. Now squeeze, because that's a hug from us to you. And if you would like to join me and Rick in saying my tagline, I'm going to put that on the screen. And while I'm doing that, you can type that in the comments as we say it together. Are you ready, Rick?
I am.
Okay. Well, until I see all of you again, remember, be strong, be well, and be green. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for
everyone.
watching. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Looking for really tasty recipes that are SOS free? No sugar, oil, or salt. How can it taste good? Well, if you like flavor, then you'll love this Be Green with Amy recipe ebook. Get your copy today. Click on the link in the show notes. Be strong, be well, and be green.